December gets darker, let me know when you're home, 'cause you're lighting a spark in me. Gets pretty lonely, I get so lonely. So stay by my side.
Restaurant, babe.
Come on close.
Hey everybody, you are back in the mix with Kai and Nick, coming back at you with another video. Another video. So, as you can see from the title, this is a this or that challenge with the movie sequels. So what I will be doing is gathering up all the movies that I like, mainly from the 90s and some in the 2000s. Yes, I'm an 80s baby. I grew up in the 90s. Some of my best moments in time was in the 90s. 90s music, 90s hairstyles, 90s lingo, 90s gear, everything. So I will be choosing movies with sequels and just narrow it down to the best and the worst. So, is y'all ready? Are y'all ready? All right then. So, with no further ado, we're gonna kick this thing off with our first movie, and that is Bad Boys. Yes, Bad Boys. Bad Boys 1, 2, or 3. My pick, I would have to say first Bad Boys. I just love how they switch roles and tried to trick her. I think she knew the whole time that, you know, she just needed them to confirm it, you know, for themselves. But I go with the first one. I like the whole format of the whole thing, and it was just funny to me. The other ones had like a lot of action. Like, I like action, but if you want to get to a good storyline, I like the first one, the first Bad Boy. The second movie is Child's Play. Chucky. Out of the Child's Plays 1, 2, and 3, I would have to go with the second one. Yeah, the second one. I seen that one first actually, and I just fell in love with it. And I later on down the line seen the first one. The first one was cool, you know, but when I was younger, I was watching the second one, and I always wondered, like, why was he adopted? Like, why was he going to stay with, you know, the adoptive parents? So the first one, you know, I mean, showed me why, you know, mother went crazy and all that stuff. But, yeah, I'm going to have to go with 2. The other, like, Bride of Chucky and all that stuff, I wasn't too big a fan of it. So, yeah, I didn't even include Number 3 is Friday. Who can go wrong with Friday? First, second, or third? I would have to pick the first one. Yes, classic. I love the other 2. You know, the other 2 was cool. The second one introduced me to Mike Epps. The third one introduced me to Money Mike. But the first one was that one. It was that classic. It set the tone. It set the mode for the rest of the Friday. So I would have to go with number 1. Fourth one we got is Home Alone. Every kid that grew up in the 90s loved Home Alone. I don't care what y'all say. Macaulay Culkin. I loved Macaulay Culkin. He could do no wrong, even in A Good Son. Like, I loved Macaulay Culkin. But like, out of the Home Alones 1, 2, and 3, I'm gonna have to go with the first one. That one literally set the tone. Like, after that, the other 2 was, it couldn't top it. I'm sorry. Lost in New York, the second one, that was okay. The third one was no Macaulay Culkin, so to me, it wasn't even no point in watching it. So the first one is my all-time favorite. Actually, I watched it last night, so it's still in my fave of movies from the 90s. House Party. How could you leave House Party out of the 90s? Like, come on now. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I don't even know how many House Parties they had, but the first one was my favorite. It had Robin Harris in there. Like, he was hilarious. Like, Robin Harris, he's like up there with Bernie Mac. Like, I love Robin Harris. He did his thing in there, and like I said, the dance moves, the Kid and Play little dance, and then you had Martin in there, and everybody else full force acting a fool. All of them, like I said, the first one set the tone for that. Like, you can't top it. I'm sorry. It's certain movies that you should just leave alone. You know what I'm saying? So, but the other ones was cool, but number 1. 6 is Scream. Yes, Scream. One of my favorite, like, horror flicks of the 90s, period. Like, that was that was in the 90s. Scream was that like that all time like just movies sweeping the nation. Like it had like its run, like Freddy Krueger back in the 80s when he came, and like Freddy like ran the 80s. No disrespect to Jason and Michael Myers, but Freddy ran the 80s and part of the 90s. But Wes Craven was just brilliant in Scream. Rest in peace to him. Like, I love Scream. Scream was like the first, second, or the third one, or the fourth one. Number one would have to be my favorite one. Like I say, that was the first one that I seen, and after that I was hooked. My cousin, she hipped us to it, and like every time the movies came out, like Scream movies came out, she made sure she took us to go see it. Like, she didn't care if she got off work late. Like, y'all still want to go to the movies? Yes. So Scream was, yeah, number one. Number 7, Creed. It's so crazy because I seen the second Creed before the first one, and I loved the second Creed. It was just, I loved it. And Michael B. Jordan. Anyway, the first one was cool too. I love that one. So with this movie, it's a tie. Can I do that? I'm gonna do that. So number 8 is Why Did I Get Married 1 or 2? I would say the first one. Like, I love the second one too. It was, you know, sad or whatever, but the first one that like put the fork in the steak is the scene, the dinner scene with Mike telling all the business. Like, that's what made me go with the first one, because he was an idiot, and like I hated him in that movie. And they say if you can act to where you get people to hate you in real life, then you're doing a great job. So I didn't like him. But number 1. It's number 9 is Barbershop. Barbershop 1, 2, or 3. I would have to go with number 2. They got that on Netflix, and I just been watching it like heavy. 1 was cool. 3 I like too, but I don't know if it was just Cedric the Entertainer just with his jokes and him just being so silly that put the icing on the cake for me. The one at the end, the joke that he made at the end about Luther Vandross, that just had me tickled back then. Like, I thought that was just the funniest thing. So I'm gonna go with number 2 just for that. Number 10 is Final Destination. I would have to go with the first one. I don't know, I forgot the lead character, that one guy that knew the premonitions and stuff and knew that the stuff was happening. Like, he convinced me in real life that he had that gift, and he played that part so well because he creeped me out. So I would have to go with the first one just because of that. So last but not least is The Best Man. The Best Man Holiday 2. It made me sad. It made me weep. It made me feel a type of way. It was just so sad. I mean, Marsha singing like that, and Anthony Hamilton singing like that, and then just seeing Morris Chestnut cry and weep at the gravesite, like it made me like, oh my God. So to be on the safe side, I'm gonna say number 1. Like, at first I didn't like the movie when I was younger. I think that came out in 99. I didn't care for it. And I'm weird like that, to where when things just come out, I don't really care for it. But later on down the line, when I get a chance to watch it and see, I really thought it's good. And everybody just passed it like, oh, you just not getting, you know, like, yeah, I just not watched it. I don't know. I guess that's just Aquarius in me. So that concluded my this or that challenge with the movie sequels. I pray that you guys liked it. I pray that you guys share it. I pray that you guys subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to go tell a friend that's going to tell a friend that's going to tell uncle, cousin, and mama them to get in the mix with Kai and Nick. See you guys.